Welcome to the official podcast of Joey Song. You know, at Joey Song, we have one mission: raise as much money as we can so that research into finding treatments and cures for epilepsy can get the funding it needs. We would love your support. If you can subscribe and leave a review of this podcast, it will help more than you could ever know. If you have a couple extra mouse clicks left in you, go to YouTube and our YouTube channel, Joey Song, and subscribe. There. In less than 2 minutes, with a couple of mouse clicks, you will have made it easier for others to find us and help spread the word. Now, if you want to do a bit more, head over to joeysong.org, consider buying a show ticket or some merch, or even making a donation. Thanks. You know, we'll beat this disease, and together we'll have some fun doing it as well. Join us. All right, let's do this. She stole the show last year at Joey Song with her audience jump, and I had people still ask me about that. Between you and Kenny Hoopla's backflip during his set, those were the two moments. Marissa Paternoster, welcome to the Joey Song podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You know, the music business, as I have found out, is such a small world. Because we were originally we had lost Gina Volpe from Lunachicks, who was, as the other girls in the Know It All girlfriends will tell you, the shredder. And so I went to my source of all things music, and of course that's Butch. And Butch immediately suggested you. You did some recording with Garbage, isn't that right?
That's true. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what year it was, but we recorded a Patti Smith cover in like the 20 teens at some point.
And you came and not only made us, well, we always miss Gina. I shouldn't say not miss Gina, but like I said, stole the show. For those folks that weren't there last year, we do a thing at the Joey Song every year. It's the Battle of the Bands, the Know It All boyfriends against the Know It All girlfriends. And what song did you sing? I don't even remember what it was. Do you remember what it was?
Rebel Girl.
Oh, that's right. Bikini Kill. Yeah. Bikini Kill, Rebel Girl. And out of nowhere, she just jumped into the crowd, and everybody was going crazy. It was really good. What did you think you were walking into when you walked into Joey's Song last year? Do you have any idea?
No, I actually had absolutely no idea what was going on for like probably not only when I landed, but the entire first day. And then I started to get it. But I was very confused for like the first 24 hours, but then it started to like gel. But that's my fault. I did not do any research. I was just like, I like helping people. I'll go to Madison in the winter.
There you have. And if that isn't your badge of honor, right? Madison in the winter. That's I've said that before to people. If anybody wants proof that musicians have a big heart, just let them know that they all come to Madison in January, and I feed them, 2 beers and a ham sandwich, and
Yeah.
that's about all you get out of me. But it's great too.
I would disagree with that, but and also, it's not that cold.
No,
Can
hey,
be cold.
we just kind of play up on it. Yeah, well, all those California people, that's where they never wear socks. Now, you're an East
Yeah,
Coaster, so that's not quite the same thing.
exactly. Maybe
I
maybe
think
the LA people are suffering.
yeah, they're the ones. And I think I hope what you felt too is we have got such a stellar group of people as well, between, Gail Greenwood and Butch Vig and all of the Vicki and Debbi from the Bangles. And they help me to make all of you new folks always feel welcome. I hope you felt that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, I had no idea what was going on, and then I realized that this has been going on for a very long time, and there was a very tight-knit group of people who had been doing it for many years that were kind of throwing the show, and that was kind of the whole point of it. But I just had to meet everyone until I could figure that out.
You make a good point. It's like joining a club that's been together for 10 years where everybody knows each other and has all this history, and you're kind of the new kid in the class, and it takes a little bit to get up to speed, I guess.
Yeah, but it didn't feel as I didn't feel like I was getting like hazed or anything the way I probably felt when I did
Yeah.
it. The way I probably felt in school. This was just
Yeah,
fun.
that makes sense. Go cool. So, I did a little bit of research before you and I got on the phone, but I did everybody's weakness Wikipedia, which is probably about half true and half not true. But
Mhm.
I had to point out that in Spin Magazine, you were named the 77th greatest guitarist of all time. And in Rolling Stone in 2023, you were ranked the 150th greatest guitarist of all time. That's pretty cool.
Not too bad. Not too shabby.
No, not too bad from a New Jersey gal. I think
Yeah.
it's awesome, and it I think the thing that appeals to me most about it is I didn't look at the rest of the list, but I don't know how many of those are what you would consider mainstream guitarists, but certainly you and your music history and the stuff you do would not be considered mainstream.
No, I mean my band, Screaming Females, was never mainstream. We weren't on the radio. We didn't headline big festivals. We were a punk band. We toured really hard for 18 years, and we played house shows. We played small clubs. We played DIY venues. We were very much flying under the radar for the most part. I mean, obviously we were popular. We were a band for a long time, but yeah, we never like had a big break or whatever you might call it.
So I love the story, the right humping gear and playing house shows and DIY. What's your what's the craziest venue slash circumstances you and the Screaming Females played under? Is there any place where you go, oh yeah, there was that time we played the Home Depot in, Schenectady or whatever?
I'm trying to think of like the most unique venue. I remember we played a warehouse that was either in San Pedro or like outside of San Pedro that during the week had this actually might not be family friendly for Joey's song, but I don't know if that's
That's
still
okay.
fine. Okay.
That's okay.
During the week had like it hosted like sex parties, so they had a lot of like S&M gear and like a human cage and this cross that someone could be tied to and spun around. um and I remember sleeping in the office and I got bit by a lot of fleas, and in the morning I thought, what a terrible place to have sex parties because there are fleas. um
And one's related to the other, probably. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. That was like a weird spot, and yeah, I wish I had time to like think about this question, but
That's all right.
we played a lot. We played a lot of just houses. I think a lot of the houses that we played, especially the ones that we went to more than once, we kind of like developed rich relationships with the people who live there, and um got to know like the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But as far as unusual, the only thing that comes to mind right now is the like sex warehouse.
Yeah, well, that ranks right up there. I
Yeah.
some friends of mine are in a band from Scotland. They're called Delamitri, and they had a couple hits and they toured around. I was with them for a couple weeks in North Carolina, and they played a shopping mall that was closed. So it was like a shopping mall that closed at 5, and then they set up the stage. You know how all malls back in the 90s kind of had the fountain in the middle with the
Yeah.
places, and they just opened the front door and sold tickets, and people came in, and I thought, I guess anywhere you can plug in a sound system and people can gather is an okay place to have a gig. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I love that Delamitri song. I would go to the mall to hear that Delamitri song, the one I know.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
ass
there you
song.
go. Well, yeah, it is. It is. It is. Screaming Females, though, are no more, correct? You guys have
That is
disbanded. Do
true.
I have my
Hmm.
So are you just doing solo stuff?
So right now, like, I was in Screaming Females for my entire adult life, so I never I never really acquired a lot of work experience per se. Obviously know how to do a lot of things, and that was my job, but I don't have a very robust resume. So right now I'm making music, and I release a song, and I write, release, and record a song every month on my Patreon. So the bulk of like I guess my music making practice I do through that. But I started a new band with my friend Augusta from Cayetana, which was like a Philadelphia punk band. My friend Nazreen, who's from the Here's Collective, or like a grindcore band from Philadelphia, and my friend Ashley, who is from another Philly band called Pinkwash. So far we've only played one show, but we're called Universal Girlfriend, and we've been playing some stuff. And then I have like a long running solo project called Noun, Noun, that like with different musicians kind of like back me or contribute to songs. And I'm gonna play 3 shows with Team Dresch, or like a kind of like landmark queercore band from the Pacific Northwest in October that I'm really excited about. My friend Ashley will be backing me up with those shows.
You know, if you don't mind me picking a little bit, because I've talked to a few folks. One of the people that I talked to was Tracy Bonham, who is a great. She was up for a Grammy back in the '90s, and
Yep.
I really the business side. She's basically self promotes and now releases most of her music on her website. And I don't know if she's got like a Patreon or a Substack kind of stuff. But how have you found that transition from the more formal record an album, put it on vinyl or plastic or whatever, versus this kind of Patreon model that you're on? Does it feel better, worse? I'm just really curious.
I mean, I, I, it's radically different. It's so different that I feel like I couldn't even compare the two. I definitely like miss some things about like painting the big picture that is an album, and having like a really strong narrative behind it, or having like having even the physicality of an album. With that being said, like I do really value physical media. So when I like started coming up with the concept of like I basically like the project that is my Patreon, it's called the Paternoster Listener Alliance, and I challenge myself to like write and record and release a song every month. At the end of the year, everyone who like hangs on for the entire year does get like a package of physical media, and it's a tape and like a little booklet of illustrations, and there'll be a bunch of other like ephemera in the year-end package this year. And I would like to expand into like other kind of formats, like maybe CD and maybe someday vinyl. But for for whatever it's worth, I mean, right now I'm just really grateful to be able to have people still listening to the music that I make, because when my band ended, I was honestly worried that I wouldn't really have I wouldn't continue making music in any way, shape, or form. I just wasn't sure where my life was gonna go. So, I'm just really happy to have people listening, and to have like the resources to continue recording.
Yeah. You mentioned illustrations. You're also an artist, right? You had a graphic novel that came out. Would you do you consider yourself a musician or a graphic artist, or some combination of the two?
I
Now, I
consider
know that back in the day you were a musician, but
Yeah. I consider myself both. And I always did kind of. I mean, I did all the art for Screaming Females for the 20 years we were a band. I was drawing way before I was playing guitar, that's for sure. And I went to art school in New Jersey. I have a painting degree that is really useful. um, but so so I kind of do both in between like working on my Patreon and doing a lot of like commission work, illustration work. That's kind of my gig. I freelance in between the two. Um
my
so
my
yeah.
son just my son just got his my yeah my son just got his music degree in college, which will be about as useful as your painting degree. So
Yeah, college is great. College
Oh
is
God.
really cool. It's
So
great. Yeah.
oh, it's great if you go into it with ultimate flexibility. That's what
Yeah,
I
it's
told my
good if
son
you
and my
like become
daughter
a
when they went in.
pharmacist.
Right.
Right.
As long as I mean, I don't know many people that came out with what they went in thinking they were going to do, right? And those people that are, like you said, are going to be a pharmacist or a certified accountant or
Right.
that kind of
Well, for
stuff.
whatever it's worth, I guess I do use
Yeah.
my degree, but it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I completely understand that. So, you talked about a couple of the projects that you have going. Obviously, when you named the people that are in them and their kind of punk background, I assume you're staying in that direction. I don't know what to call it. I hate putting categories on music, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, my community is rooted in DIY. My community is rooted in punk. Like, those are my friends. Those are the people who have been hanging out with me my entire adult life, supporting me. Um, and I'm not overthinking it. I'm kind of just like going with what the universe kind of is putting in front of me. And if it feels good, if it feels like healthy, I'm just going for it.
Yeah, I think if you do anything else, especially in all the things going on in the world today, not just the music community, I think if you don't go into it with any other attitude, you'll drive yourself nuts, right? Because who knows what tomorrow's going to bring, unfortunately, right?
Precisely. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break. We are going to come back with Marissa in a minute, and we are going to do some of our silly little games that we do, but I find them fun because we get to find out more than just what pedal she uses and all those other things that you hear on these music podcasts. So stick around, folks. We'll be right back in a second with Marissa Paternoster. And we are back with Marissa Paternoster, who has found her charger for her phone, so we are able to keep going. We were in serious jeopardy of making this the abridged version of the Joey Song podcast, but Marissa's great. All right,
Really touch and go
this
for a second.
yeah, this is where we dig deep into your psyche. This is where we find out all those things about you. First one is the one I start everyone with: Beatles or Stones?
Oh, the Beatles.
Yeah, because
The Beatles, and to extrapolate, um, the only Rolling Stones album I really like is Between the Buttons. I feel like everything after Brian died, I just like don't really gravitate towards. So admittedly, I just don't really know that much, and I like Satanic Majesties, but the Beatles just endear themselves to me more. I don't know if it's because I think they're cuter or they write better songs or a combination of both, but my dad was also like more of a Beatles guy, so I think I just grew up around the Beatles a lot more than the Stones.
yeah, that tends to. We've had a couple people say Stones, but those are for very specific things. Like somebody, I think it might have been Hugo, that said Stones because of Charlie Watts, right? You see, I
Right.
don't know,
Yeah.
so you do get some of that, but for me, I mean, they wrote the blueprint, they wrote the book, right? And to
Yeah.
this day, so I think that as well. I think this next question is going to be a little unfair since you're a New Jersey girl, but I'll ask it anyway. New York style pizza or Chicago style pizza?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, pizza in Chicago, deep dish is not pizza. It's like a casserole. I like it's just not it's a whole other thing. Like, it's not a conversation that we can even have. I'm sure it makes me upset, like, viscerally.
Then I don't want you to go there.
Um
Now, have you ever had like
uh,
real Italian pizza in Italy? The really light toppings and all, like in Rome or some of those places, because that's fantastic too.
no, sorry, my dog started barking. No, I've only been to Italy twice. And I didn't manage to eat any pizza. And I know that I only have been to Italy twice, but I was only there for like 6 hours.
Yeah,
So
I get it. I get it.
didn't
Yeah.
get to have a lot of pizza.
All right.
Yeah.
Friends or Seinfeld?
Oh God, Seinfeld. Friends is an awful show. I don't have anything else to say about that. Friends is like unwatchable. I've never watched something more tone deaf. But I guess Seinfeld's pretty tone deaf too. Um and everyone in Seinfeld is very unlikable, the characters.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of myself in George Costanza, unfortunately.
Boy, we could do about a 10-part miniseries on that. Wow. Yeah, that was.
I know it's not good. Every time he has a problem, I'm like, that would be something I would say, and it makes me dislike myself even more.
So does that mean
Mary.
you like? Does that? Does that mean you like Curb Your Enthusiasm? Because George is basically Larry David.
Yeah, I mean, my dad, I'll watch it when my dad's watching it. Maybe I'll sit next to him and watch it, but I don't know if I've ever put it on purpose by myself. But I do enjoy it. Yeah, it's funny. But Seinfeld, I just was on TV when I was a kid, so I watched the crap out of it.
When I was of just a couple years older than you, but it was absolutely must see TV. I mean, Thursday night at 8 o'clock when that rolled around. I mean, in the Midwest it was 9 o'clock in New York. Though it felt like the entire world was in front of their TV when Seinfeld was new. It was yeah. What are they going to do next?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Even I was privy to that, and I was like a fetus.
Yeah, you were just a smidge younger than me, and still are just a smidge younger than me. All right, if you
That's never gonna change.
no, that's funny how that works, isn't it? All right,
I know.
you could
Weird.
either be invisible or read minds. Which would you prefer?
I would read minds. I don't think I'm particularly interested in voyeurism, and I can't imagine that being invisible would offer you much more than that. I guess you could like commit crimes. Um, Trying to think of other stuff you could
Other,
do when
yeah,
being invisible. Yeah, no, being invisible is like I feel like without other people's consent, like being invisible would be like a mean thing to do. But I guess reading people's minds would be rude too.
yeah. The
I
one
don't know.
I won't say who it was, but of the people I talked to, the one person said, "Well, I'd really not want to be both, but reading people's minds would be awful because then you'd know what people are thinking about you, and if you're one of those people that cares what people are thinking about you, yikes."
Yeah, I think both would actually be like horrible afflictions.
I think so. I
Um,
think so too.
I would, yeah, if I had to, if I had to pick, I would say neither, please.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I won't grant you either one with my superpowers. Okay.
Thank
Um,
you, Mike.
you're welcome. Last one. If time travel was a thing, would you rather travel to the past or to the future?
I mean, both suck. I mean, the past sucked. The future sounds like it's gonna suck really bad. The present sucks. I don't know. Like, I would flip a coin. I would flip. Maybe I would do the future just to see how bad it's gonna suck, and then come back to the present and tell everyone.
Yeah, to
Like, do
see
I have
if
to stay
yeah.
there?
Yeah, to see if Mad Max had it right about what the future is going to be like.
Seems like it.
The only thing, though, the
Perhaps.
one my answer to that is that one thing I would like to go to the past is I'd like to go to the Crossroads and see what the devil said to Robert Johnson. That would be if I could go back. That would be my thing, and then find out what the deal is that he made. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go with you.
All right, let's
Um,
set.
Emotional support.
All right. We'll get something on the calendar then.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Send me a Zoom invite.
Yeah, we'll do it that way. All right, we're going to take one more break, and we will be back with Marissa Paternoster again. And we're going to do over or underrated and dig a little more deeply into her psyche. So here you go. Stick with us, folks. We'll be right back. Well, this was really interesting. During the break, Marissa and I did figure out the time travel. We did go back actually to the Crossroads, and it turns out Robert Johnson was just a damn good guitar player. That's all.
Yeah,
There was
nothing.
no deal
Nothing.
with the devil or anything.
No, he was just
As
enjoying
with
a
most of
nice
this,
walk.
yeah, yeah. As with most of these things, the reality is much more disappointing than the hype. So maybe
Yeah.
we'll do the future next episode. Who knows?
All right.
All right. So now we're going to do overrated or underrated. And this is where we talk about stuff that's kind of in culture right now or people think about. And Marissa's going to tell me whether she thinks it's overrated or underrated. 8 hours of sleep, overrated or underrated?
Oh, underrated. I love sleeping more than anything in the entire world. And I think that everybody needs to sleep a different amount, and everybody ought to be allotted that amount so that they can operate to the best of their abilities the next day. I hate hustle culture. I think it's totally lame.
Yeah. Now, are you a napper? Can you take a nap?
I just took one. Maybe you could tell
Yeah.
by the way that I look. But yeah,
No.
I love taking a nap. I don't take them as frequently as I did when I was in a full-time touring band, but yeah, I love taking a nap. I think it's great to rest.
Yeah. You and me both. I find it's a good time for my mind to focus too, as I'm kind of dozing off when, yeah, so I'm with you.
It's like
I'm with
saving
you.
stuff on your computer.
That's right. There you go. Yes, exactly. All right. Next one, vintage guitars. Overrated
Oh,
or underrated?
I would say overrated, I suppose. I mean, like, I understand the appeal of just old stuff in general. Obviously, they carry a lot of history. Um, the guitars that I like were purchased, or the guitars that I've played my whole life were purchased new. They're old now. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that much about newer makes of guitars. I know that I guess a lot more of them are made cheaply. Um, so again, I can understand why vintage guitars are really valued. But I think it's just up to the player and whoever is like using the instrument. If they feel good on it and comfortable on it, then that's the right one for them. So yeah.
I think that's right. All right. Here's one that always causes issues for folks. High-end coffee. Are you a high-end coffee person? Like, you
Nah,
know,
I'm like a
or
middle and
whatever you get at the diner.
yeah. I'm like a middle coffee person. Like I can go to Starbucks. That's fine. Uh as long as it has caffeine in it, it'll usually work for me. I can't really drink gas station coffee. I think I was traumatized by it in my early 20s. But and when I do drink a really nice coffee, I'm like, wow, this tastes like it's $12. And that's really impressive. But I mostly don't give a shit. I drink one cup of coffee a day, and that's usually it. So sorry, I'm really boring. It's like the only substance that I have complete control over. Caffeine.
I
There's
get
that.
it. All right, and this is the one that I always ended on, and I'm going to tell you right now. I think you're the 12th. I'm kind of stockpiling these so that once things get, I'll release them when it gets closer to the show. I've done 12 of these, and every
Mhm.
musician so far has had the same answer to this next question. Making
Okay.
your bed every morning, is it overrated or underrated?
Underrated. I make my bed every day. My grandmother told me to do it or I'd be in a lot of trouble. And I think that she's still somewhere in the room telling me that if I don't do that, I'll be in a lot of trouble. And so I still do it. I also live in like a studio apartment, so I having my bed made also serves as another surface to put crap on. And I have a lot of crap. So when I make my bed, it turns the bed into a desk, and then I put crap on it. Um, so
Yeah, you double your workspace.
yeah, exactly. It expands my room. It really expands the floor space. So so yeah, I make my bed. Not very cool. Not very bohemian of me.
You and everybody else. Yeah. So far the music community is 12 for 12 on that. You
Yeah,
all
a lot
make
of
your bed, which
we're
I'm
all
going to
very
guess for
mature.
a lot of the civilians. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we don't have control over a lot of our lives, so I think that's like where we can exercise some control, making our beds.
Well, yeah, all right, and maybe that comes from riding on, those tour buses where that's literally your only space too, right?
I have never been on a tour bus tour. No,
Oh,
I wouldn't
wow.
know.
I haven't either,
Yeah,
but I've seen them and I know that it's yeah. All right, we're going
but
to take one more break. We will come back and close up with the. So I got to tell everybody, when Marissa was here last time, the weekends of the shows, I'm a nutcase. I'm running. I get about 2 seconds to talk to people. This is the longest we've ever talked, and I'm mortified that we didn't spend more time when you were here last year. So I'm very pleased that we're going to have you this year, and you and I can actually sit and talk because you're wonderful. So
Oh, thank you, Mike.
there you go.
Looking
That's all
forward to
right.
it.
So we're going to take one more break and we'll come back and close things up with the delightful. You know, you don't really say that about punk rockers very often, but the delightful Marissa Paternoster. All right, folks, we are back. This is the part of the whole podcast that sucks because I have to say goodbye to all these wonderful people that we're talking to. And as you just heard me say before we went to the break, this is really the first time Marissa and I have had a chance to talk, and I'm cursing myself that I didn't spend more time, but the weekend of the Joey Song things, I don't have it. So when she comes back, we will spend a little time huddled over a very expensive cup of coffee, and we will talk. So, Marissa, thank you so much for taking the time today to talk. Thank you so much for donating your time and talent to Joey Song. And I'm just tickled that you're going to be coming back.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Thank you so much, Mike.
Hey, thanks for sticking around all the way to the end of the podcast. A quick reminder, if you can give us a follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast provider and write a short review, it will really help us out. If you can head over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel over there, that's another big help. These simple acts make it easier for others to find us. And of course, head over to joeysong.org to join our community and stay up to date on all the news. Thanks, and we'll talk again real soon.
Learn more about Joey Song by visiting joeysong.org. The theme music was composed by Sam Gomoll, and Joey Song is a federally registered 501c3 charity. Thanks for listening.